we got absolutely bent over by the market today, and I'm going to get into it and show you where everything went wrong. And we're trying to make this channel as transparent as possible. We don't have a lot of videos talking about losing days, so I'm going to start posting more and more content because we do occasionally have that losing day, and today was one of those days, man. So let's sort of just jump in right here and talk about where shit hit the fan. So going into the day, the first thing I noticed, and we always start off on the higher time frame here, we had equal highs up here. So we had equal highs on the 15 minute, and we actually just took those. So as you can see, we bust through those equal highs just now, and I was a bit late or a bit too early. Oh wow, we actually had a nice inverse here as well on the 15. Anyway, so we were targeting these relative equal highs. This was a super obvious liquidity pool in my opinion. These things always get smacked, but today, no bueno, was no bueno. And the first trade we took was very close to market open, so I'm just gonna draw it up right here and sort of talk about the confluences going into this trade. And like I said, a rule that Spen and I talk about a lot of the time is, if I lost on this trade, would I regret losing? And if the answer is yes, I would regret losing this trade, then you shouldn't be in it in the first place. But this particular setup, I had no regrets losing. It was a setup that I will take every single time. So what can you do? What can you do in this case? Just walk away, shut your computer. It is what it is. So this was the setup right here. So looking at the higher time frame, the 15, we have these equal highs above. We have the 15 minute right here that gets inverse. So this is the first bullish sign to us. We are starting to inverse these 15 minutes to the upside. We came back down here, tapped into this 1 hour. We held this 1 hour bullish. And then we had this 15 minute up here. So the idea was basically to watch and see how is price going to react to these 15 minute gaps. Are we going to use them as resistance? Are we going to break through them? And this was our final point of interest. So we said, okay, if we break through this 15 minute, we're probably going to want to target these relative equal highs. So as soon as we start pushing through this 15, we start looking for long opportunities, and this was the trade that we hopped in right here. So as you can see, we inverse the first 15 minute, we come down, we hold it, and then we make a move up. We do the exact same thing here. We inverse this 15 minute, we come back down, we retest it, and at this point the 15 minute hasn't closed, but it closes in 2 minutes. So I had faith, to be honest, that this 15 minute was going to close, especially after getting this reaction. So again, we come up, retest this 15 minute on the 1 minute time frame, and we put in a singular inversion, a singular fair value gap. We then inverse it after tapping into this 15, and we close above it. There's no hesitation here, and I like that we had that power, that displacement through it. So I entered the trade, and it looked a little something like this. Now this is where I went wrong, man, and I kind of got bent over on this, to be honest with you. I should have exited the trade as soon as we closed below. So in this case, I should have been out right here, should have been out, and it would have been a decent size loss, to be honest, looking at like a 1 to 5. So the rule of thumb is, if the inverse doesn't hold and we close below, hop out of the trade. But in this case, I had so much faith in this 15 minute holding. We close above the 15 minute right here on the 10:15 close. So as you can see, we end up closing above, and I put a little bit more wiggle room on my stop because I was banking on the 15 minute getting retested and then getting that move back up. So I held on to this loser way longer than I should have, but at least there was kind of a reason for me doing so. I mean, we had this 15 minute, I thought this 15 minute was going to hold, and I was willing to add a little bit more risk on the table. But at the end of the day, you should not be doing that. I kind of abandoned my trade plan because the rule of thumb is if we get a close below, I should exit the trade. I should have been out here, but I decided to hold, and I believe I got out. Like, I even had a chance to get out at break even here. You can see price trickles back up. price is dancing around. It looks like we're holding this 15-minute, and it starts giving me some hope. I'm going, oh yeah, this trade is going to hold. And then I believe I exited the trade right here when we took this swing low. So to be honest with you, it was about a 50-point loss. The loss was way bigger than it should have been, and it's a bit of a learning lesson there. And then that's when we got this trade right here. So that was the first loss on the day, and my general rule of thumb is 2 trades and then done. I'm not going to over trade. So we lost the first trade, and then we got this opportunity right here. So we actually put in equal highs up here. We have equal highs. We put in an SMT with ES. This is an SMT with ES. You can check that for yourself. And then we had a 5-minute inversion right here to the upside. So this was another trade idea, but after that loss, to be honest with you, I just hesitated. Was a bit nervous going into this trade, but as you can see, it worked out just fine taking this high. And then I believe ES ended up taking the relative equal highs. So we put in a big SMT up here with ES. So you would have been all out once ES took these highs. But yeah, that was basically the day summed up. And then the last trade I tried to take was a long. Which long was it? I believe it was right here, actually. So this was the long I tried to take. And again, there's really no rhyme or reason for taking this at all. Like, I mean, it looks, you know what? It looks decent. Again, we come back down into this 15. We have the SMT with ES here. The only problem with this trade is I entered too late. I sort of missed the move, and this really should have been the entry if I was looking to take this trade. So the idea behind this was we were holding this fair value gap. We still had these relative equal highs above, and I wanted to see this 1-minute hold here. We got a little liquidity sweep on the 1 minute before pushing back up. So I love to see the fact that price comes down, and this is a bit of a manipulation leg in my opinion. We sweep this low and then immediately reverse. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna take one more stab at this to the equal highs, and I entered with 1 contract, and bang, got stopped out immediately there, and then decided to follow my trade plan. I got stopped out for about 6 points, and then said, okay, you know what? I'm testing my luck. I already took a big loss on the day, took another small loss here, and then just decided that the best thing to do was step away from the charts and just call it a day. I lost about $950 on the day. It is a big losing day for me, but there are some lessons to be learned here, and that's the only thing you can do when you have those losing days, is learn the lessons. There's always a lesson to learn in every losing trade that you take. So that's what I did, man. I sort of looked over the trades, looked at what I did wrong, looked at what I could have done better, and then called it quits after that and decided that it was time to hop off the charts as we were sort of just chopping around here. So yeah, that was Tuesday summed up. That was the first trade we took, or the first couple of trades I took this week. So obviously you hate to start the week off with a couple of losing trades, but that's the way she goes sometimes. So I believe the account, we're still trading this live account. We've actually gotten 1 payout already from this Apex account that was wired to our bank. So we successfully got 1 payout from this account, and the account is still live. So we're going for a second payout on the account. And as of right now, I believe the account is sitting at about $1,100 in profits, and we are going to try to go for that bigger payout this go around. So we'll see what happens. And that's basically Tuesday summed up for you, is what it is.